Pittsburgh Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin finally addressed the situation that happened on the sideline during the Atlanta Falcons game with wide receiver George Pickens. Here is the full response. So, before you get more to this video, subscribe to the channel down below if you like Steelers content, analysis, and reports. Like the video, and also I've been posting every day, so turn on my post notifications down below so you don't miss out on the next time I post a Steelers video, and let's get back into it. So, just in case if you guys don't know, George Pickens versus the Atlanta Falcons. George Pickens had one reception for 3 yards. He was targeted twice. One of the targets was completely over his head. So basically, he was just out there running routes for fun during the game. And on the sideline, after a drive or after he got subbed out the game, he was showing frustration on the sideline. He was seen yelling at coaches and a player to throw him the ball more and get him more involved in the game. And apparently, he also slammed a helmet on the ground. So, Mike Tomlin addressed the situation, and he addressed George Pickens and how much slander he's been getting in the media the last couple of days. And here is a direct quote from Mike Tomlin. He said, "I'd rather say, whoa, than psych him. I want a guy that wants to be a significant part of what this team does. Now, the appropriate way and professional and mature way to express that, we're growing and working on. And we'll continue to. But that spirit, that competitive spirit, the guy that wants the ball more, I want that guy." So, Mike Tomlin kind of said the same thing I was saying the other day when I made a video about this a couple days ago. I said that George Pickens wanting himself to be more involved in the game is a good thing because he knows he could help this team. I said that he's probably the best playmaker on this offense. So him not getting the ball is a bad thing for this offense, and he knows that. He knows that with him getting the ball and him being more involved in the game, it will open everything up for the offense. It will allow the defense not to stack the box against the run, so that will open up. And him wanting the ball is a good thing because as a competitive player, obviously you want the ball. It's just the fact that he showed frustration is what people are getting at. So, Mike Tomlin also had a direct quote as he brought TJ Watt into the situation. This is a direct quote as well. "I would imagine TJ Watt wants to lay the quarterback down more. We got competitors. This is professional football. These guys know that they have to deliver. And so, for a guy that wants to do that, I'm not going to make that a negative. No matter how silly I think the commentary is, or people talking about him, expressing that frustration and stuff, and trying to make it a negative storyline, I laugh at that." So, Mike Tomlin kind of shuts down everything, and he says that the media talking about him in a bad way, wanting the ball more, just isn't the right thing, because he wants a competitive guy, and there's other guys that are competitive as well. And also, George Pickens, he responded to it. So, after the game, George Pickens denied to have an interview, but just yesterday, he had an interview about the situation, and before the interview even started, he said this. "Before we start this, I ain't gonna be just saying stuff for you all to just paint a story and make a statement bigger than what it is, or make something bigger than it is. Don't try to make something it's not, because every player, literally every receiver in the past, before, you got T.O., I could name so many names, it's just what you guys want it to make it out to be." So, George Pickens kind of says this, and I agree with him. He kind of says that other receivers want the ball too, and they show frustration. But now, the media is just making a bigger thing than it is because it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because this is a big market football team. And also, just to put into some perspective, Deontay Johnson, just last week, not in the Atlanta Falcons game, but the week before that, he was showing frustration not getting the ball. And also, then he got targeted way more. And also, earlier in the year, when Mitch Trubisky was at quarterback, Deontay Johnson was yelling at him in the locker room, apparently, wanting the ball more, wanting more targets. But there was no coverage in that. And also, Chase Claypool, earlier in the season when he was on the Steelers, he was showing frustration at Matt Canada for not getting him involved in the offense. Those are two guys in the Steelers that were showing frustration. But now people are just making a big deal because it's George Pickens, and coming into the draft, that was a big thing on him. Oh, how's his demeanor? Is he a troublemaker on the field or outside the field? That was a big thing on him. That's why people are making a bigger thing than it is. And also, if you look at Elijah Moore on the Jets, he was a big person in the media about wanting the ball more and showing frustration. So there's the players around the whole league that show frustration and want the ball more. and it's a known thing. So making a big thing about George Pickens just doesn't sit right. And also, the people comparing Antonio Brown to George Pickens, because when Antonio Brown was on the Steelers, his attitude was bad and wanting the ball and also getting frustrated, throwing helmets and stuff. Comparing the two is just not the same thing. Look what Antonio Brown has done and look what George Pickens has done. You don't put George Pickens in a spotlight. He's nowhere near Antonio Brown in that category. You can't just say someone's Antonio Brown because they get frustrated and want the ball. That just doesn't make sense. This is my whole perspective on this. Let me know down in the comments below, how do you feel about this? Do you believe George Pickens needs to get more involved in the game? Or do you believe that his demeanor is bad and there's just nothing that he could do about it? So, let me know down in the comments below, how do you feel about this situation? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below if you like serious content analysis reports. Like the video, turn on my post notifications so you don't miss out on the next Steelers video. And I'll see you guys all later. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.